Hello friends. Today we are going to discuss regarding Atoll's gateway configuration tool known as Atoll Configs. A very helpful tool that allows Atoll Solutions customers to configure AT series and AR series remote monitoring and tracking solution gateways. Now let's get started. So let's see as to how we can integrate an external Modbus device with Atoll's AR501RM gateway, where AR denotes remote monitoring solutions and RM denotes Modbus feature with RS485. Here, we are integrating a Modbus device. In this case, it's a relay. Now, since it's RS485, it has two communication terminals, data plus and data minus. Atoll AR501RM also provides 4 digital inputs, 4 digital outputs, and 4 analog inputs. Now let's integrate the RS485 UART with the Modbus device and RS232 UART with the local PC COM port in order to use the application Atoll Configs. Let's power up the gateway now. Here we need to select the desired COM port to which the USB to serial converter is connected. For me, the COM port is number 6. So after selecting the desired COM port, click on Connect. Once the gateway responds, it will flash the details of the device. So in the device summary, you can see the details of the device like model name, IMEI, and version number. The gateway which I have connected is AR501RM. Also, it shows the IMEI of the gateway and also the firmware version number. Okay, so let's move on to the base configuration. And yeah, so let's say I have to send data to a TCP/IP server and I have to configure a Modbus parameters too. The Modbus device that we have connected to has a baud rate of 9600. So let's select 9600 from the drop down list. The data bit is always hard coded to 8-bit. For this Modbus device, the parity is none. So let's select none and the stop bit is set to 1. So now we have configured the Modbus device with baud rate as 9600, data bit set to 8, parity none, and stop bit as 1. Once we configure all the parameters, finally the device will start sending data to the server. So let's start to configure all the other basic parameters as well. Here we can configure what header must be inserted in the data while pushing it to the server. Let my header be my header and I'm setting device ID as DEV001. Here the updation interval states as to what interval the gateway must update data to the server. Let's say I want an update every 10 seconds. So I can write as 0010. Or if I need to update in every 5 seconds, you can write as 0005. In server selection, I have 3 options: TCP/IP, HTTP, and HTTPS. Since I have a TCP/IP server, I click on TCP/IP and enter the details like IP address and port. My IP address is, and the port is, let's say, 8000. APN here denotes the APN of the SIM card which is inserted into the device. Since I'm using an Airtel SIM card, so my APN is going to be airtelgprs.com. Here you can see we have an option to configure 3 set of different Modbus requests. For instance, I'm going to configure only one Modbus request. If we enter a number of registers as 000 for other requests, the Modbus request will not get processed. And to set a Modbus request, basically we need to know 4 different parameters of external Modbus device. For instance, slave ID of the external Modbus device is set to 01. Function code of the Modbus device is set to 03 for reading the holding registers. Starting address of this device is set to 0000, and let's say I want to read only first 2 registers. So I set the value to 2. For this particular Modbus device, the size of each register is 16-bit, giving a timeout of 100 milliseconds. After configuring the basic parameters, click on update. So at the bottom, it will show the status of updation. Yeah, here you go. It's successfully updated. Moving on to parameter configuration. In parameter configuration, I can select which all parameters I want my gateway to read to update to the server. Here we can see that message header, device ID and IMEI are already enabled, where message header and device ID was already configured in base configuration. And let's say I want to enable it. If I want to disable it, a user can disable by clicking on the tab. Here I wish to enable date and time, and since I have configured only one Modbus request, let's enable Modbus reply 1. If I enable Modbus reply 2, it will indicate saying enable Modbus request 2 in base configuration. Let's say I want to enable all the other parameters, GSM related parameters like MCC, MNC, cell ID, and other parameters like device firmware version, internal battery voltages, main power supply, etc. Now, since AR501RM does not have GPS feature, it is already disabled. So let's enable digital input, digital output, and analog inputs. After configuring all the parameters, click on update and wait till we get an acknowledgement of the status. So now it is successfully updated. Now let's have a look at my TCP/IP server. So here is my first data coming from the gateway, where you can see that the configured message header as my header and device ID as DEV001, IMEI of the device, date and time stamp also. Moving on, DI stands for digital input, DO stands for digital output, AI stands for analog input. Modbus 1 denotes Modbus request first response, which is configured to read 2 registers of 16-bit each. So you can see 0202 for first register and 0000 for the second register. Next is MCC, MNC, cell ID, which are the GSM parameters values. Version number of the device, internal battery voltage, power status. Here power status is set to 1 since I haven't connected battery. Module firmware version is 10.00.188. Yeah, so this is where my string ends. Now you can see that the data is updating to the server every 10 seconds as configured in the application. So this is how Atoll Configs works. Hope you liked the tutorial. For more information, log on to atollsolutions.com. For further queries, contact sales@atollsolutions.com.